Welcome to the CARP National Seniors Day online event. We believe this is the largest online group meeting of seniors in Canadian history. As Canada's largest organization advocating for the rights and interests of Canadians as we age, CARP has always treated National Seniors Day as an occasion for celebration. In public events from coast to coast, CARP members raise the CARP flag, along with the Canadian flag, to recognize and salute the accomplishments of our seniors. But this year is different. This year, National Seniors Day takes place under the cloud of the coronavirus disaster. Thousands of seniors have died. In fact, over 80% of all deaths have taken place in nursing homes. But this isn't just a statistic. It's real people, with names and faces, with important life stories and legacies that will be cherished. So today, CARP will honor them with a National Minute of Silence. Now let's meet your hosts for this important event.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to National Seniors Day. My name is Anthony Quinn. I am the Chief Community Officer here at CARP. I'm in Toronto in the CARP National Office, and I'm joined by two of my colleagues. Bill Van Gorder, he is the Chief Advocacy Officer, and he joins us from Prince Edward Island today, I believe. Bill, hello, Bill.
Yes, hi. Yes, I'm in Prince Edward Island, where we're revitalizing the chapter here. Had good meetings all day, and they're now tuning in to watch what we're doing now.
Bill is also a member of our National Board of Directors representing the Atlantic provinces. And we have David Kravitz. David is the Chief Marketing Officer at CARP, and he is also a member of the CARP National Board of Directors. Hello, David.
Hi, Anthony. Hi, Bill. Hello, everybody. Thrilled to be part of this national event and looking forward to a very powerful program, I think, that we've got in store for you today. And thank you for joining us.
Thanks, David. Also joining us, but not visible on camera, is Jana Ray. And Jana is the Chief Stakeholder and Relationship Officer with CARP, and she is taking your messages right now on the YouTube live chat stream. So please do communicate with us through Jana. If you have any questions or concerns or stories to tell, please get online now and join us. Now, traditionally, CARP celebrates National Seniors Day by raising flags in communities right across Canada. But alas, due to the pandemic, we're not able to meet in person. So today, I believe we're hosting Canada's largest ever meeting of seniors virtually. So today is a special day for us, and we're celebrating National Seniors Day. We'll be hearing from some well-known Canadians who will join us in celebrating the contributions that seniors have made and continue to make in our community across Canada. But it's not just a day for celebration. We do have to acknowledge the tragic deaths in long-term care, the thousands of people who have died, seniors who've died untimely deaths. So we are going to take some moment later in the program to acknowledge that fact with a moment of silence and reflection on those deaths. So without further ado, I'd like to pass the floor over to Bill Van Gorder, our Chief Advocacy Officer, with some update on the advocacy work that he is doing in our national office. So over to you, Bill.
A few days ago, I had the very pleasant opportunity to have a discussion with the National Minister of Seniors, and I'd like you to see what we had to talk about right now.
Our special guest now is Federal Minister of Seniors, Deb Schulte, the Member of Parliament for King Vaughan. Thank you very much, Minister, for taking the time to do this today. And our first question will come of no surprise to you. Because of the ravages of COVID-19, long-term care is a huge concern for the majority of CARP members. They tell us they don't want more hospital-like long-term care facilities, and 95% tell us they'd prefer to stay in their own home and have their needs met at home rather than the community. What's the federal government doing to address the desire for improved home, community, and small option care as a part of the long-term continuum?
Well, thank you very much, Bill, and I really appreciate the opportunity to have this chance to connect with your members. One of our greatest tragedies of the pandemic has been the lives lost in long-term care. Our elders deserve to be safe and respected and live in dignity no matter where they choose to reside. And as you know, long-term care falls under the provincial and territorial jurisdiction. And even though it is their jurisdiction, the federal government has been taking action to support seniors by providing PPE, money support for wages for essential workers. We've been helping, as you know, where there was crisis, bringing in the Canadian Armed Forces. And our government has committed to work with the provinces and territories to set new national standards for long-term care so that seniors can get the best possible support in those facilities. We've been there to support seniors throughout the pandemic, and we'll continue to be there for seniors. And you mentioned about seniors wanting to stay in their home. We know seniors would prefer to stay in their homes as long as possible. And so you'll see actions in the throne speech as well to continue on the path that we started with a $6 billion investment with provinces and territories to enhance home care and palliative care for seniors.
Well, that's absolutely true, Minister. And CARP members really want to have long-term care included under some kind of federal government legislation, whether that's under the Canada Health Act or probably better under its own act. And they want the funding to be accompanied by some kind of standard or regulation, as was promised in the speech from the throne by the Prime Minister and in his own speech last week. How close are we to really having this happen, knowing the difficulties of getting the whole country to agree?
Well, we have been working very closely throughout the whole pandemic with the provinces and territories to keep Canadians safe, including our seniors. And so we've already started the process of conversation, but we will need to work with the provinces and territories, and not all of them experience the same tragedies and challenges. Not all of them are providing the services in the same way under the same regime. So it is a little different for each province and territory. So we're going to have to work closely with them to bring them along where we can have a national standard across all provinces and territories for long-term care.
Well, that's good to hear, Minister, and certainly our chapters right across the country will be happy to work with you and the colleagues in their own province to encourage that happen, and we have that kind of cooperation across the country. To change track just a little bit now, CARP's been working hard to increase the awareness of older adults on the importance of preventative health measures. And we're on the record as urging the government to fund critical vaccines. Now with the second wave of COVID-19, I guess officially underway, we're told, what would you tell Canada's older adults about how soon a COVID-19 vaccine might be ready?
Well, that's a great question. And obviously, there's a tremendous amount of work going to develop vaccines that are going to be safe and effective. And we know that in the long run, the very best way to end this pandemic is with that safe, effective vaccine. So Canada's strategy has been all about ensuring that Canadians will be able to get a vaccine once it's ready. There are many potential candidates. Canada's exploring the full range of options that are available out there, including vaccine candidates, therapeutics. And we're also investing in the manufacturing capacity here at home. To get those vaccines out to Canadians, it's a full approach on all those aspects so that once one is ready, we can get them out across the country. Then we've made further investments to be able to do that so that we have that ability for vaccine distribution across the country, because that is a real challenge. There's going to be a huge demand, and everybody's going to want it as fast as possible. From the vaccine task force that provides the best advice on vaccine purchasing to rolling out that to the immunity task force that's looking at how COVID-19 is affecting vulnerable populations. Canada's top scientific minds are engaged on this and are guiding the government every step of the way.
Well, that's good to hear. And we certainly hope that Canada's most vulnerable, our frail, at-risk adults, will be among the first to be protected.
Well, it's too early to talk about, the prioritization, but we recognize that seniors are at a higher risk from this virus, and we are committed to keeping them safe.
And speaking of keeping our vulnerable adults safe, will the government fully fund high-dose flu vaccines as well as the best-in-class shingles and pneumococcal vaccines? Because we know that if the older adults are not well protected from these things, they're even more open to COVID. So we're looking for covering those vaccines for all adults over 65, especially those whose physicians say they are at high risk. Will we be able to have those kinds of vaccines?
Absolutely. We're focused on providing the vaccine for COVID-19. And while the provinces and territories fund vaccines normally for seniors, given the vulnerabilities that we've seen of seniors in long-term care, the Government of Canada has ordered the Fluzone high-dose vaccine for residents of long-term care facilities aged 65 and older for this upcoming flu season. So our commitment was confirmed by the minister at the federal and provincial territorial meeting on May the 1st, 2020. These doses should be available in communities now.
Good. And will they be easily accessible through many different avenues like pharmacies and other points of distribution?
So the Government of Canada has been focusing on making sure that we're providing the Fluzone vaccine for seniors in long-term care. For other seniors through the community, this is something that the provinces and territories are orchestrating. So I would expect that they would be done through the normal mechanisms where they would get them at the doctor's office and pharmacies. But this is something that the provinces and territories manage and are responsible to distribute.
All right. Well, lastly, but certainly not least, the change tack entirely. When will the government follow through on its previous election commitments that were mentioned again last week in the speech from the throne? And that's on old age security being increased by 10% for people over 75 and increasing the Canada Pension Plan survivor benefit by 25%. We've talked about this. The government has talked about this for a while. When can we expect it to actually happen?
So as you heard in the throne speech, the government is remaining committed to implementing the policies that are in the platform. This year's focus, as you know, has been on managing the COVID-19 pandemic. And through the OAS, the old age security, the guaranteed income supplement, and the GST credit. These are one-time payments that were provided throughout the year while seniors were dealing with the added costs and impacts of the pandemic. So we provided that financial support to seniors of all ages sooner and greater support for the most vulnerable, which invested over twice as much financial assistance to seniors as we committed to in our platform. So we are still committed to delivering, but right now we've been focused on delivering for seniors during the pandemic, and we've done that through the series of payments, direct payments, tax fee payments to their accounts this year during the pandemic.
Good. Well, thank you. And we will look forward to seeing that roll out, hopefully in the near future. Well, Minister Schultz, on behalf of the thousands of CARP members and their friends who are watching this right now, thank you very much for taking the time to answer our questions today. We look forward to supporting your efforts as we all work together toward our common goals. Thank you very much.
Well, it's a real pleasure, and thank you, CARP, to CARP for its advocacy. You're a strong voice for seniors, and it's a pleasure to be able to be with you today to answer some questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Bill. I know that CARP was instrumental in the federal government bringing in a national minister of seniors in the last mandate, and I'm very glad that she was able to join us today.
You know, the impact of COVID-19 on our older adult family and friends living in Canada's long-term care homes has absolutely been overwhelming. More than 8 in 10 out of all the COVID deaths in Canada are linked to long-term care homes, and almost 450,000 Canadians live in long-term care retirement homes as well as assisted living facilities. There have been almost 7,000 deaths in Canada among the facility's residents. As a percentage, that's roughly 10 to 15% higher than the global case fatality rate among people over the age of 80. So the spread of COVID-19 in Canada's long-term care homes has unfortunately been no surprise to CARP. It's just highlighted many pre-existing and systematic issues, including the risks of living in rooms with more than one bed, lack of staff training, underqualified management, and chronic staffing concerns. For CARP, this status quo is unacceptable. Long-term care in Canada needs to be completely rebuilt from the ground up. And governments have to realize that the large facilities that warehouse our older adults are not what we require. Home and community care must be the new foundation of care for our seniors. Residential facilities have long been plagued by the underlying systematic vulnerabilities, severe underfunding, chronic understaffing, out-of-date facilities, multi-room wards. So to protect seniors in care, CARP is demanding that the government take 5 steps. First, we want the federal government to create a minimum staffing levels that include appropriate professional disciplines among the full-time staff so that we will improve continuing care. We need to provide better training and education to support the professional development and specialization for care workers, managers, and boards. Funding for long-term care home renewal projects includes air conditioning, floor to window replacements, water and sewer line replacements, additional bathrooms, and of course, reconfiguring 4-bedroom wards so we only have one person in a room at a time. Funding for transformative, compassionate dementia care is also absolutely necessary in our long-term care facilities. And fully funded high-dose flu vaccines and the expansion of pneumococcal coverage for Canadians over 65 who are at risk. CARP is urging the government to recognize that home care and community care solutions are critical to resolving the long-term care crisis. We know that to keep all vulnerable citizens safe, there's no place like home. And 9 out of 10 of our CARP members tell us they want to age in place. Yet many require much better home and community care resources in order to do what they want to do and stay home. Compared to other developed countries, Canada spends significantly less of its long-term care spending on home and community care versus nursing home care. The average other country spends 65% on residential care and 35% on community care. In Canada, in many of our provinces, we spend 90% on long-term care and 10% or less on home and community care. Even before COVID-19 hit, publicly funded home care services were rigid, rationed, and difficult to access. And further, due to the cost of private alternatives, the vast majority of home care needs in Canada couldn't be met without the fundamental support of unpaid family and friend caregivers. So, CARP is calling on the government to better support Canadians living in their own homes by doing 4 things: increasing support for frontline home care, respite care, and day programs, increasing funding and using technology-enabled home care solutions so that individuals can live safely and independently. We want expanded healthcare services, telehealth care in particular. And finally, we need to ensure that all caregivers have access to the financial relief through federal family caregiver tax credits by making it refundable or a rebate. So to sum up, here it is. We are dismayed that the drastic conditions facing seniors and their families seem to have fallen off the national radar. We find it almost unbelievable that 3 weeks ago, all we heard was concern about long-term care. And yet today, that expression of concern has all but disappeared. We applaud that the Prime Minister is pledging to take steps to protect the most vulnerable Canadians, like Canadian seniors. And we agree the government must revive the economy. But to that end, government has proffered the support of childcare for working parents, especially mothers, as a goal. Children, however, are not the only recipients of care by working mothers. Many workers are responsible for much of the home care of their own elderly parents and relatives. CARP submits that policies and the financial support of home care and community care are a vital component to long-term care. These policies are very necessary as an adjunct to supporting these family caregivers, and that will allow them to return to work and thus grow our economy. A new cycle in the fight against the ravages of COVID-19 is upon us. The battle isn't over. In addition to protecting older adults in our long-term care facilities, we must improve, augment, and strengthen home care and community care services to supplement the care being given by the children who must now return to the workplace. 25% of Canadians provide unpaid care to older adult family members and friends. We want the federal government to ensure caregivers for all ages are treated equally and are able to obtain the integral financial relief they need. CARP will urgently remind governments that long-term care, home and community care are just as important as childcare if parents are going to be able to go back to work, knowing that there's quality care for their parents as well as their children. Our 320,000 members, 95% who regularly vote in elections, require assistance to help them care for our country's at-risk seniors, and they are demanding that government support that now.
Well, thanks very much,
Bravo.
Bill. There's so many important pieces of information in that presentation, and I'm certain that the politicians will be paying attention and listening. In fact, the Prime Minister of Canada has sent his best wishes for National Seniors Day to our members. So I present to you some words from the Right Honourable Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada.
Hello everyone, bonjour à tous, and happy National Seniors Day. I am so happy to be with you all today as we celebrate the achievements and contributions that seniors have made to our country and work to better support those who helped build the Canada we know today. First, I'd like to thank the Canadian Association of Retired Persons for bringing us all together during a time where we need to be apart. I know the last few months haven't been easy for you and your families. The COVID-19 pandemic has taken a toll on seniors across Canada, making life more expensive and leaving people concerned for their health. That's why we took immediate action to get you the support you need. We helped more than 4 million low and middle income seniors with a GST top-up and provided 6.7 million seniors a one-time tax-free payment of $300 for those eligible for OAS, as well as a further $200 for those eligible for GIS. Ces mesures aident des millions d'aînés à assumer la hausse du coût de la vie due à la COVID-19. En plus du soutien qu'on offre à nos partenaires comme Centraide, des banques alimentaires et des organismes de bienfaisance, on travaille fort pour que vous ayez les services essentiels et tout ce dont vous avez besoin pour rester en bonne santé. Tragically, Canada has also witnessed the effects of the pandemic on seniors living in a number of care homes. As we gradually restart our economy, we're working with the provinces and territories to strengthen long-term, home, and palliative care residences across the country. Because we can't and we won't let the tragedies that occurred in these places happen again. And as we move forward, we will continue to be there for you so you can spend less time worrying about the additional costs of the pandemic or your health and safety, and more time doing the things you love. My friends, stay healthy and enjoy today's webinar. Encore une fois, merci.
Thank you, Justin. Mr. Prime Minister, both your message and the practical assistance your government is providing at this time are not only encouraging, but necessary. You've addressed our membership several times before, in particular in the short few days before the 2015 election that brought you to power. At that time, you made some significant promises to our demographic, and our membership voted accordingly. And I'm pleased to say you immediately honored those promises in the early days of your tenure. As you struggle today with the overwhelming demands that are coming from every corner of the population and the economy, and with a view to being helpful, CARP just wants to remind you that perhaps one of the best and least expensive solutions to the puzzle of long-term care is home care and community care. We trust that in the days ahead, your government will not lose this focus and work with us to develop practical measures that can be quickly implemented to keep the bulk of our older populations at home and not just alive, but thriving. As you consider all these matters, Mr. Prime Minister, please remember that sooner or later, if they're lucky, all Canadians become one of us. As for all you CARP members out there, I remind you that the Prime Minister's interest in our advocacy is motivated not only by legitimate concern for the individuals involved, but also by the power of our numbers and the impact of those numbers in the voting booth. When it comes to politics, size really does matter. And the best thing each and every one of you can do to advance the goals of CARP is to help grow the membership of CARP. At about 320,000 members, we're a potent force. At 500,000 members, we'd be fierce. And at 1 million members, well, we could take over the government. Just kidding. But we would be unstoppable. The world is finally coming around to our new vision of aging. I like to say the best way to keep going is to keep going, but my pal and CARP's great friend and famous cartoonist, Terry Mosier, puts it this way.
Well, thank you very much, Moses, and thank you very much to Terry Mosher, also known as Aislinn from the Montreal Gazette. And without the support of Moses and his resources at Zoomer Media, we wouldn't be able to bring you this live event. So thank you very much, Moses, for your participation, for your leadership at CARP, and for sharing the resources of Zoomer Media with us today. So without further ado, I'd like to pass the floor over to Bill Van Gorder.
But you know, CARP is not only advocating for stronger government action on COVID nursing home scandals, but it's using its media muscle through Zoomer to inform and motivate the public. David Kravitz, will you tell us more about that?
Thanks, Bill. It's a real honor for me to be here today and to be the Chief Marketing Officer of CARP. And let me start by saying, what does marketing even mean in this context? So there's two key roles we have. First of all, we are trying to obviously strengthen and expand our base. If we go to the government, if Bill and his advocacy team are sitting down with the Prime Minister, as they are, and with federal and provincial leaders, as they are, and representing 320,000 Canadians, that's impressive. 400,000 would be even better, 500,000 would be even better. So we're always looking to expand that base. If everybody watching this broadcast today or participating in this online event today were to bring in one member each, that would dramatically improve our clout in the corridors of power, would dramatically improve our ability to make the politicians sit up and take notice. So I make no apologies for always soliciting more people to join CARP, and we've got some supers on the screen today telling you where to go to get that information, and we hope you do. But aside from that, we are dealing with complicated policy issues. Right now it's COVID, and it's the nursing home scandal, and it's the future of long-term care. In the past, it has been retirement, it's been pensions, it's been elder abuse, it's been ageism in the workplace. And by the way, on that, the shocking possibility that ageism may actually be responsible for the past neglect of the nursing home buildup. So we're dealing with very difficult, complex issues. Fortunately, we have a fantastic communications pipeline in order to get the message out to Canadians as to what's going on and why it matters. Through our association with Zoomer Media, we reach literally millions of people, and we have a megaphone into that world. And in a moment, I'm going to show you some examples. But Zoomer, their leading TV network, Vision TV, is in 9 million homes. Zoomer magazine is read by 2 million people a year between print and digital. The website Everything Zoomer is 2 million page views per month. The radio stations here in the Southern Ontario region, 1.5 million listeners per week, and more across the country now online. It's a tremendous channel with which to communicate these issues to the public, to get you all better informed so that you can go out and talk more knowledgeably and more effectively about these issues. I'm just going to show you a couple of examples. I'm going to start with 2 ads we've run recently in Zoomer magazine. Now, Zoomer magazine in the print only, the magazine itself, 1.5 million readers, and in the print digital combo, about 2 million in the audience. And here's just 2 examples of some ads we've recently run. The first one, as you can see, we're contrasting how Canada did with COVID with the rest of the world. 81% of the deaths in Canada have been in long-term care homes. Guess what? We hold the record. No other country does worse. And this is going to become an important theme for us, because as we sit down, as Bill and his team sit down with the Prime Minister, with the federal ministers of health and seniors, with the provincial premiers and ministers of health, we are telling them that, look, what we're asking for, the improvements we want, are not pie in the sky. We want what other countries already have. Bill gave you some very impressive figures about 90% of Canada's spending is in institutions and only 10% is in community and home care. In Denmark, they spend 60% in home care. So other people are doing it. They're doing it now. They're doing it better. Why can't we have the same? And when you read these ads and when you talk to your local members of parliament, whether they be provincial or federal, you should ask them, why can't we have what the other guys have? Why are we so far behind? The second ad is just in the brand new issue of Zoomer, just out now, about the national scandal. And it's a national scandal because governments knew all about this. There are decades of reports about the creaking, rickety, about to collapse long-term care system. They knew all about it. And a shocking report from the Royal Society says it may have been sort of underground ageism. You know, as older people, they're going to die soon anyway. We really don't need to make this the priority. There's a bright new shiny object over there on the policy horizon. Let's go after that one. So I make no apology for these ads being a little bit shocking, because the situation is shocking. It's life and death. And so these are some examples. We also are running some very strong commercials on our 2 radio stations, AM 740 and 96.3 FM. And I'd like to take a break for a moment and let's listen to some of those commercials.
It's official, and Canada is the winner. Highest percentage of COVID deaths in nursing homes in the world. Some record. But wait, it gets worse. For years, CARP has been telling governments that our nursing homes were grossly inadequate, so they knew and did nothing. Now they're making all kinds of promises to do better. Oh, really? Who's watching to make sure they do it? CARP is watching. We're not relaxing for 1 second. You can become a watchman too. Join CARP at carp.ca. Because it won't get better unless we demand it. What if there's a second wave of COVID? Health experts warn it's highly possible. Will the government be able to protect seniors in long-term care? You saw what kind of job they did on the first round. Do you think they're ready for a new emergency? Maybe, but CARP is watching. Never mind commissions of inquiry that don't report until next year. We want to see concrete plans for safer nursing homes now, not later. Add your voice to our demand. Join CARP at carp.ca. Because it won't get better unless we demand it.
So those are just some examples. We're working very hard all the time to create new messages, to create new reasons and rationales to take this story and make it as powerful as we can, to motivate as many people as possible to get behind us. And as I said, the best way you can get behind us is to join or renew or bring in a friend and spread the word. We represent a very powerful movement for social and political change. And my job and the job of all of us is to help actualize that and make it real. It's a privilege for us to be doing this work, and very glad to be part of this event. Thank you. Back to you, Anthony.
Yeah, thanks very much, David. Some very powerful messages there and very important messages. I did want to bring this to everyone's attention. This is one of the magazines from May 2019, and on the cover you see Hurricane Hazel McCallion. And Mayor Hazel is going to join us right now, so let's hear from Hurricane Hazel McCallion.
Greetings to seniors all across this great country of Canada. In fact, the seniors built the country, and they should be very thankful for the contribution that they, and proud of what they have contributed. Now, seniors, I don't call myself a senior. I'm just Hazel McCallion, carrying on, very independent, because I think seniors must remain independent. Don't count on things, on people to do things for you if you can do it yourself. And remember, living life with a purpose. That is so, so important. And it never ends. It never ends. There's no such end of a life with a purpose. If you desire to fulfill that philosophy through your life. Well, seniors have gone through a lot during this pandemic, but I believe that they have come through it. Unfortunately, the pandemic has had a major impact on retirement homes and especially long-term care. And as the Chief Elder Officer Rivera, I visited some 36 of their homes in Ontario, both retirement and long-term care. And my message to them, to both groups, retirement, do things as much as you can for yourself. Even though you enter a retirement community, I call it a community, not a home. When you enter a retirement community, you should remain independent and do everything you can yourself. Independence is so, so important. And then, of course, exercise. You can exercise just sitting, watching TV. You can keep your limbs moving, etc. And that is very, very important. And of course, you must watch your diet. Your diet is very important. I eat a lot of vegetables and a lot of fruit and stay away from junk food. And that is so important. But most important of all, seniors should have a positive approach. Don't go to bed at night without knowing some idea of what you're going to do tomorrow. I make a list of what I'm going to do the next day, because you get up in the morning and then you know that there are things that you plan to do and you follow through on that plan. Seniors today want to remain in their home. There's no question about it. And we need a lot more home care across this country so that they can remain in their home. But when you leave your home, I don't say it's leaving your home to go to another home. It's leaving your home to go to a community. Because when you get into a retirement home, you're in a community. People from many walks of life are there, interest in many different things. So it should be exciting that you move in that direction. And so on October the 1st, when we celebrate Seniors Day across this great country of Canada, we must be thankful for the many blessings that we have in this country. Yes, the long-term care homes have not had the policy they should have, and the pandemic will change that, I really believe. That governments at both the federal and provincial level will do their very best to realize that that section of the community has been neglected over the years, over many years, not recently, etc. So I say to seniors, just live life to the fullest. Be enthusiastic. Don't give up your desire to laugh and to smile and to joke, etc., because that has obviously been a part of your life. And don't think you're a senior. Think you're an individual with a purpose, and you're going to fulfill that purpose till your last day on this great earth. And so, happy Seniors Day to all the many seniors across Canada that have made such a distinguished contribution to the development to the best country in the world.
Well, that's a wonderful message from Mayor McCallion. Thank you very much. And David, I wanted to pull out another copy of Zoomer Magazine. Again, this is referred to as Mary, Queen of the Rock. This is Mary Walsh, and Mary has a message for all of us about aging in Canada today.
Hi, I'm Mary Walsh. Boy, it's been a rotten few months, hasn't it? I mean, especially if you're old. Of course, old age has always had a rotten rep. Better than the alternative. Oh yes, old age, better than death, but not by much. When I was young, people were always saying to me, oh my God, Mary, enjoy yourself now because this is the best time of your entire life. And I used to think, oh, gentle German, Jesus, if this is the best time of my entire life, I'm just going to go hang myself somewhere. But turns out, thanks be to God, they were entirely wrong. Now is the best time of my entire life. And I thought it was just me, that maybe it had been the bit of Brené Brown I'd read or some meditation or finally getting sober. But no, according to science, old age is a happier age. There is an actual U bend towards a happier old age, or sometimes they say it's a V, or I'm not actually sure which letter of the alphabet it is. But as we get older, we get happier, and that crosses all kinds of lines, like social lines, and whether you're healthy or not, we just get, most of us anyway, happier as we age. And of course, the world is getting older. By 2030, we'll have double the amount of people over 60. But luckily, a grayer world is a brighter world. Oh yeah, many of us are going to have to start wearing dark shades because our future is so bright.
And Bill and David were joined now by Kurt Browning. You'll recognize his name from his success in figure skating world. And he has some messages for our members in celebration of National Seniors Day.
Hello, everybody. Kurt Browning here, Ambassador for Home Equity and the Chip Reverse Mortgage. This is Rocky, and you are all going to be meeting him soon in a commercial with me. So he just wanted to say his little preview. Go away, I gotta concentrate. Cool. So as I said, never dogs or pets, they steal all the attention. I'm the ambassador of our home equity, the mortgage where you can access 55% of your home's equity, and you have to be 55 or older. I don't think it's a coincidence that they're the same, but I'm not quite sure. Anyways, I am honored to be here, make a little bit of history because this is the very first virtual meeting of seniors in Canada. So, wow, this is kind of cool, and it's great to be here and be a part of it, be invited by Home Equity to kind of champion this whole thing. I also think it's important that we prove that it's not just the kids that can work technology. At least at my house, I'm learning. So anyways, at National Seniors Day, I want to acknowledge Home Equity Bank CARP for all that they have done to make the lives of seniors better. And it's really fun to be a part of that relationship and everything that they're doing. They've helped countless of Canadians 55 or older with their lifestyle, with their lives, their decisions. And actually during the pandemic, these are very, very strange times. And I'm very proud to reinvigorate my relationship with Home Equity especially because of what they've been to help their customers with this new life that we have to because of the COVID-19. They're calling people at home, their customers at home, almost 2,000 people that reached out to know that they're not alone, to let them know that they're listening, that they're there if they need them, and to simply check in on them. The generation that built this country, it's so great that we're having a day to honor them. We should honor them. And I think I try to with the way I live and everything that I've learned from my parents and the generations that gave me the opportunity to wanted to be a figure skater and represent Canada and have a chance to those long hours driving to the rink in the early morning, especially with my mom. She did most of the driving. Sometimes she would stop the car when the stars were perfect at 5:30 in the morning, and we were minutes late to getting to the rink, but it was 3 minutes of heaven. And I thank my mom for not only driving me, but just teaching me all the good ways to absorb life. So I think that it's important. I have especially my own son, his name is Gabriel, and he was listening to me prepare for this, and he wanted to have a message for a very special senior that's out there. So Gabriel.
Hello everybody, Gabriel Browning here. I give a really quick shout out to my grandmother, a very one of the most important people in my entire life. I call her Yaya, you know, it's Spanish, me Spanish and her being 100% Spanish. She's one of the interesting people I've met in my entire life. She's certainly one of the best people I ever met. Like, she texts me every night. She takes care of me when I'm sick. She still comes over to my house to take care of me when my parents are out. She knows I don't need it, but she likes the attention, and I love every time I see her. She's one of my favorite people, and my life would be completely different without her. People like that all over the world, and I just wanted to give them, and especially her, thank you so much.
Wow, pretty cool. So, okay, so on that sense, me too. I love Lucy, but my message is for not just Lucy, but for everybody. So on behalf of Home Equity Bank and Rocky and Gabriel, happy Seniors Day, and go out there and enjoy it in your own way. Thank you for everything that you've done, and thank you for your time. All right, cheers.
And for our members watching right now, I want to introduce you to someone who was a childhood hero of mine. I'm sure many of you will recognize him. This is Michael Pinball Clemens.
Being a senior is a big deal. I remember when I was a senior in high school, right? The big man on campus, and I ended up getting a scholarship to go to university. And then in university, my senior year, yes, it was amazing. I actually got drafted to go and play professional football. Being a senior is a huge deal. But my favorite senior? Well, that would be my mom. You see, she sacrificed much more than I did. And as a matter of fact, she's more responsible for my success than I am myself. It was the things that she did, the sacrifices she made that made, well, my success a reality. And in fact, that's why we're here today, because seniors, that's what you do. You're the ones who have laid the groundwork. We feel that we have the best country in the world, and it is your decisions, your sacrifices, your commitments that have brought us here today. And for that, we could not be more grateful. So happy Seniors Day. We love you. We respect you. And know this is your season. So it's not just Happy Seniors Day. That's today, October 1st, but all year long, the other 364 days, let's keep practicing, okay? This is your season, and we're so grateful for you.
Hayley Wickenheiser is also known as Captain Canada for the Canadian women's hockey team. Here's a message from our friend, Hayley.
Hi everyone, I'm Hayley Wickenheiser. October 1st is Seniors Day, and I can't think of a more fitting time to give thanks to our seniors for their contributions in building our country, raising families, building our communities, coming here from other countries with very little, and the work they do today as volunteers, grandparents, and community leaders. It was our seniors that built this country to what it is. It's our seniors that are going to continue to keep us strong. It's been a really tough time over the last few months, and our seniors have been hit really hard. So on this day, National Seniors Day, we give all our love and respect to you.
Bill, you mentioned the importance of hearing and speaking to our political leaders and decision makers. So I want to introduce our audience to Mr. Jagmeet Singh, the leader of the federal NDP party.
Hi, friends. I want to wish everybody a happy National Seniors Day. When I think about celebrating seniors, I think about the seniors in our lives, the elders who have taught us so much. And for me, I know you've heard this before, but for me, both my mom and dad have shared so much and taught me so much, but I like to share some of the things that my mom taught me. She always says how we're all connected and that we need to take care of one another. And I think in COVID-19, more than ever, this idea of us being connected is so relevant, that we've got to take care of one another. We can't fight a global pandemic on our own. So she would always say, if we lift the people around us, we all rise together. And on National Seniors Day, I think about all the seniors that we lost to COVID-19. And to celebrate them, it means that we've got to take care of them. we have to make sure that no senior is ever bearing the brunt of a global pandemic. So on National Seniors Day, take a moment to celebrate the elders in your life, learn from their stories, and let's all commit to making sure we take better care of our seniors.
Well, David and Bill, we were delighted to receive this message from the star of Whose Line Is It Anyway? See if you recognize his face.
Hello, seniors of Canada. Colin Mockery of Whose Line Is It Anyway here, international comedy icon and role model to everyone since 1990. I know, it's pretty darn exciting. I'm thrilled, and I'm with me all the time. I can't imagine how your minds are blown. Here's the thing. The lovely Canadian Association of Retired Persons has asked me to give you this little video, and basically is to wish you all a wonderful National Seniors Day. Stay safe, stay connected. Thanks for all you have done for Canada and all that you continue to do. I'm going to be celebrating with you. My wife's a senior. So, and that just stays here, by the way. You know, it's very important to acknowledge seniors in our lives today and every day. I've been so inspired by, I'm going to say, more mature people who I've had in my life, whether they be teachers, whether they be family, whether they're just friends, people who have inspired me with how they look on life, what they've done for others, how they have enriched our society. So go seniors, and I don't think anything can thank you more than maybe a hoedown. Hey there, all you seniors, have a lovely Seniors Day. I hope it is a lot of fun, filled with lots of play. And now that you're all mature, you really know the score. I'm going to celebrate with you, even though I'm 24. Yeah, I just work hard. I'm only 24, and this is Happy Seniors Day. Stay safe. And thank you once again for all you do.
Many of you will recognize these faces from the world of sports, from times gone by. Some great messages from some superstars on National Seniors Day.
To all the seniors out there, I want to wish you a happy National Senior Day. You guys are so important to our lives. We never forget our education is because of you. You guys made us the person that we are today. And with all your hard work, everything you've done for us, all your thoughts, all your energy, now we're giving it back to you. This is your day. Enjoy it. All the best to all of you guys. And just know that we appreciate everything you've done to all of us. And our thought is with you on this October 1st. Enjoy it.
Hi, I am Robbie Alomar. In 1992 and 1993, you guys were cheering for us. Today, I am cheering for you on National Senior Day. It's a time to celebrate what you did for the community and for the families. Thank you. God bless you.
Hello, everyone. Doug Gilmore here, and October 1st, National Seniors Day. This is very important. This is grandparents, parents, coaches, mentors. It's something that is a special day. Let's give them love, thank yous, and just know that they're appreciated. So again, October 1st, National Seniors Day. Thank you so much. Take care.
It's wonderful to have all these famous and well-known Canadians celebrating National Seniors Day with us. But as you've mentioned, David, it really is a different time and not always a moment for celebration when we think about what's happened in long-term care and nursing homes across the country. Can you tell us more about what we're about to reflect on with our national moment of silence?
Yes, I'd be glad to, Anthony. The problem is this. On the one hand, the statistics are important. 82% of the deaths in nursing homes, almost 8,000 seniors dying of this terrible pandemic. Those big numbers are what gets attention. That's what gets headlines. That's what gets us the attention and the focus of the politicians. So we engage in that number tumbling ourselves, and we should. But we thought this year, but hey, wait a minute. These people aren't statistics. Every single one of them represents a life lived, achievements, relationships, loved ones, a legacy that will live on. What better time to recognize that than now during National Seniors Day? So although we have spent the first portion of this broadcast talking about the statistics, the deaths, the death rates, and so on, and that's all fine and good, we did want to take a moment to honor the memory of just a few of those names, to put names, faces in front of you to say, these are real people, real lives lived, and let us all collectively honor their memory. We were very gratified that so many people volunteered to have their loved one appear on this event, and we appreciate the sensitivity and the willingness to share their grief with us in that way. But this is a moment of silence, a moment of respect, and a moment of recognition that the statistics are one thing, but what it comes down to is real lives that deserve to be honored. I will now ask everyone to observe the national moment of silence in memory of those who died during the coronavirus pandemic.
You know, David, it was very eye-opening for me and heartbreaking to speak to a number of those family members who had lost their loved ones in long-term care, either from COVID-19 itself or from neglect, and the downward spiral that they experienced while underserved in long-term care homes. So I'm thankful to everyone who did share the photographs and the memories with me of their loved ones, and we do at CARP really want to share the importance of those recognizing those names and the thousands of others who we couldn't show today. Bill, did you want to weigh in on that, please?
These faces are so moving, and it's so important for us to remember that each one of these is a real person with a real family, with a real history in their community, lost to us now, and in many cases, unnecessarily. So really an opportunity for all of us today to think about those we know or were close to us and pledge that we won't have to see this kind of group of pictures ahead of us again, ever again.
Mm-hmm. Well, with that, I wanted to thank David and Bill and everyone for joining us on our national event today on National Seniors Day, but we're not finished yet. Right now, we're going to ask you to join your regional meetings that are taking place immediately following this meeting. So we have set out 4 links below here for you to join in based on the region that you live in. So if you live in British Columbia, please click on the link for British Columbia and join our local CARP members who are going to continue the discussion with a more local focus. And if you're not in British Columbia, we have another meeting set up for Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. So if you're in that region, please click on those links. If you're Ontario or in Quebec, please click on the 3rd link to join our local event. And if you're in the Maritime Atlantic provinces, you'll see the link below there. So we are not finished yet. We are signing off from here in the national office and from PEI, but please do click on the link to join your local regional meeting, which will continue to celebrate National Seniors Day and explore what the local grassroots activities and actions should be to ensure that we're getting the changes that we need in care homes and long-term care. Any final words from David or Bill?
Thank you all for watching, and we look forward to talking with all of you as we move through this process and make sure that the kind of outline we've had today of what should happen does happen and happens soon.
I'd like to second that. Thank you all for watching. We are striving to be your voice. So don't hesitate to give us feedback and suggestions, ideas, and we will do our best to meet those needs as you express them. Thank you again for taking part. And I echo what Bill said. Let's hope we don't need, we never have a repeat of what happened this year with coronavirus. We're certainly going to work hard to make sure that's never going to happen again.
Okay, thank you, David. Thank you, Bill. And thank you, everyone online. Please click on the link for your local regional meeting happening right now. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Take care now.
CARP, National Seniors Day online event. We believe this is the largest online group meeting of seniors in Canadian history. As Canada's largest organization advocating for the rights and interests of Canadians as we age, CARP has always treated National Seniors Day as an occasion for celebration, to recognize and salute the accomplishments of our seniors.